Have you ever wondered what happens when everything falls apart? When the world you know is washed away in the blink of an eye? In our little Jamaican town, nestled right by the sea, life moved to a familiar rhythm, the music, the laughter, the smell of salt in the air. We were neighbors, sure, but we lived in our own little worlds. We'd nod, maybe say good morning, but did we truly see each other? Then, the storm came. It wasn't just a storm. It was a monster that roared in from the ocean. Nobody expected it to turn so quickly. 1 minute, the market was alive with chatter and music. The next, an eerie silence, broken only by the wind howling like an angry spirit. When the sky finally broke open, the rain didn't care if you were a fisherman with calloused hands or a shop owner with a new sign. It didn't care about the little disputes or the old grudges. The storm was coming for everyone. Streets we walked down every day turned into rushing rivers. The power went out, plunging us into a thick, terrifying darkness. And in that darkness, something shifted. We were all just people, stripped of everything but our fear and our instinct to survive. Neighbors who hadn't spoken in years were suddenly shouting each other's names, their voices cutting through the thunder. "Are you all right in there? Can you reach my hand?" Hands that usually just waved a polite hello were now holding on tight, pulling people from the rising water, saving lives. In the chaos, we weren't strangers anymore. We were a lifeline for one another. We found shelter in the old church on the hill. Its stone walls had seen generations come and go, but never like this. Dozens of us huddled together, a chaotic mix of faces from every corner of our town. Strangers, friends, even old rivals, all of us sharing the same leaking roof. The air was thick with the smell of wet clothes and fear, but it was also filled with something else. The soft glow of candlelight flickered across faces, and in that warmth, barriers melted away. An old man who everyone knew kept to himself broke his last piece of bread and passed it down the line. A young mother, her own child asleep in her lap, rocked a stranger's crying baby, humming a gentle tune. I remember seeing a little boy look up at his mom, his eyes wide in the dim light, and he asked, "Mommy, are we family now?" And she looked around at all of us, these tired, soaked, and scared people, and she smiled through her tears. "Yes, son," she whispered. "Tonight, we all are." In that small, crowded church, with the storm still raging outside, we weren't just neighbors. We were one big, messy, beautiful family. When the morning finally came, it was like the world was holding its breath. The sun broke through the clouds, casting a soft, golden light on the wreckage. Our town was scarred, there's no doubt. Roofs were gone, walls had crumbled, and the streets were filled with debris. But as people slowly emerged from the church, blinking in the new light, nobody was talking about what they had lost. The first words spoken were always, "Is so and so okay? Did you find your family?" We were only talking about who we had saved. The storm had taken our homes, our possessions, our sense of normalcy, but it gave us something far more precious in return. It gave us each other. The rebuilding didn't happen overnight. It was slow, hard work under the hot Jamaican sun. But this time, no one worked alone. The sound of hammers echoed through the streets, but it was mixed with laughter. Hands that had been busy fixing their own fences were now helping a neighbor rebuild their shop. People cooked big pots of food in the street, sharing with anyone who was hungry. We rebuilt our town board by board, but more importantly, we rebuilt it hand in hand. For the first time in years, our community didn't just live side by side. We lived together. That disaster, that terrible, destructive storm, it didn't destroy us. It woke us up. It reminded us what it truly means to belong. Looking back, it's clear that storms do more than just test our strength. They reveal it. They strip away all the little things that we think divide us, our jobs, our houses, our opinions. They wash it all away until the only thing left is the one thing that truly matters: our connection to one another. Because sometimes the very thing that seems designed to break us apart is what ends up bringing us back together, stronger than we ever were before. It teaches us that our greatest shelter isn't a roof over our heads, but the people standing beside us. Thank you so much for joining me on this journey. If this story touched your heart, please give it a like and consider subscribing for more stories about the power of the human spirit. Stay safe and remember to hold your community close. We'll see you in the next one.